Alright, there we go. Hello everyone. It is WebComic Wednesday. I'm back from working PopCon Indie. It was a bad time, if I'm gonna be honest. I mean, like, financially a bad time. My neighbors were great. Oh, thank you for that 10 months of subscriptions already, Shrimpy? Damn. Thank you. But yeah, PopCon Indie went like horribly financially. I had 25 sales all weekend. So, I'm most likely not gonna be going back to that con for a while because, I don't necessarily like blowing an entire paycheck for nothing. So... like, it went well. So, like, this is the first time I have done PopCon Indie. And, I've been really trying to stay local with my shows just because it's cheaper. But this was, like... it was a pretty big con, and I decided, like, oh, hey, I'm gonna apply, see what happens. I got in, and then, like, shortly after I got in, a local show was, like a one-day local show contacted me, and was like, hey, you're in, you know, you can, come vend at our, like, library convention and everything. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, I was like, okay, cool, but unfortunately I have a schedule conflict. And they were really understanding about it. I didn't tell them exactly what the schedule conflict was, because I'm like, you know, I'm gonna, rather than like spend a day doing a small show, I'm gonna go try and do 3 days at this bigger show. And then, because like mathematically, I'm like, oh, if I go to the bigger show, I have the opportunity to make more money instead of just like than I would doing like a one-day library show. And then so I drove 4.5 hours to Indianapolis and got all set up and everything. And Friday happened, and Friday was like noon to like 7 o'clock. So it started later than your typical convention would. And it went to 7. I had 5 sales all day, not even one sale an hour. And it was all stickers and pins. None of my bigger items. So I was a little disheartened, but I was like, oh, you know what? Like, Saturday's always the better day. Saturday's always a better day. And, like, all of the other people there who had done the show previously are like, oh yeah, Saturday's always, like, pretty good. I had 15 sales on Saturday. And again, all small items, stickers and pins, which is fine. People can buy what they want. But, you know, stickers and pins don't pay my bills. So then, you know, I was like, okay, maybe Sunday will be better. Sunday was 5 sales. So, total of 25 sales for the entire weekend. And then today at work, like, it was my actual first full day back because I've had to deal with car stuff because a week before I had to leave for PopCon, fucking tree branch fell on my car. So soon after I got, like, as soon as I got back, I had to take care of that. So, it's... And, like, it was just really frustrating at work today because, like, I was telling one of my coworkers, like, hey, like, I'm like, I didn't make any money. Like, I didn't make any fucking money this past weekend. And she's like, what do you mean you didn't make any money? And I'm like, okay, I want to break it down for you. I spent 3 days at this convention. So, like, maybe, like, let's say, like, a combined, like, 20 plus hours working this show, not including setup and teardown. And I'm like, I didn't make any money. And she's like, how did you not make any money all weekend? I'm like, okay, let me break it down for you. I paid $375 for the table, approximately. I had to pay $160 some odd just for parking. My hotel was $600. I managed to keep my food expenses under $100. It was like $80. And then I only sold $153 worth of stuff. So I didn't even make enough to cover my parking expenses for the weekend. And she was like, that's over $1,000 you spent. I'm like, yeah, you can probably guess why I'm a little miffed besides work-related stuff. And then so she's like, let me see your booth. Let me see, like, what your booth looks like. Because she was trying to be helpful. So I show her a picture of my booth, and she's like, this is boring. It looks like it's supposed to be in a book fair. And I'm just like, what's wrong with a book fair? This is perfectly normal. Like, this is a perfectly fine setup. Like, and she's like, it needs more pizzazz. And I'm like, it doesn't really need more pizzazz. Like, I could probably get some signage, but I'm also at the point where I'm like, I'm not throwing more money into the display, to the aesthetic with sparkly emojis around it. Like, I'm not throwing more money into that if I'm not making any money. The, like, panels I made to display my pins, I made those on the cheap because it's easier for setup. Because everything's just velcroed to those panels, and those panels are velcroed to the modular cube panels. So I just have to plug and play, and I don't have to set it up every time. I did that to save time. And, like, one of the my newer coworkers, like, saw my setup. He's like, no, that's perfectly fine. And, like, I've shown, like, my other friends were like, no, that's fine. Because, like, conventions can get overstimulating and overwhelming, and I kind of let my art speak for itself. Like, I'll put my bigger pieces up high so people can see them and come to my booth. It's just no one was coming to my booth. So, and, like, I tried telling my one coworker, like, she's like, oh, you need to entice people to come to your booth. And I'm like, Girl, they weren't even walking by. They weren't even coming to my section of the room. How am I supposed to entice people who are on the other side of the artist alley or hanging around the vendors that are surrounding me? I can't. Like, if they're barely walking by, there's no way to entice them to my booth. So, thank you, Shrimpy. I know my setup looks nice. I'm just frustrated because also stupid shit happened while I was gone, and I tried to like bring it up to my boss, being like, hey, why does this keep happening every time I leave for an extended period of time? You guys keep making the same dumb mistakes. And I'm like, and he's just like, no, we're not. And I'm like, yeah, you are. You guys keep making the same mistakes every time I'm gone. Because, like, we have this thing right now at work where it's like, we're only supposed to be sending techs parts that they need to complete a job. No more, no less. The bare minimum. So, like, not those. There's, like, this part called a piston in our machines, and, like, there's only one piston per machine. Where is this? I need to label my things better. And so there's only one piston per machine. And like like Monday when I wasn't there, they sent 2 pistons to this one guy because that's what's on the order form. And I'm like, hey guys, we're not supposed to be doing this. There's only 1 piston per machine. Why are you sending 2? And then my boss was like, oh, well, it was on back order, so that's probably why. I'm like, no, because if it's like 2 different orders combined, because his whole thing is like, oh, it's probably 2 different orders that combined itself. And I'm like, no, that's not how this works. According to this like tracking email you guys sent out, it was 1 order. You sent 2 pistons for the same order, because if it's on different lines in the email, that means there was 2 separate orders. So it'd show 1 piston with 1 quantity per the little lines per each line, and it was showed 1 line piston quantity 2. So I'm like, no, you guys made an order for 2 pistons. This isn't 2 separate orders. And like, he's like, well, he probably needed it for another machine. And I'm like, well, if he needed it for another machine, he needed to submit it a separate parts request order, like he's supposed to. Instead of just sending him 2. Like, we don't have the stock to keep sending these things out willy-nilly. And I'm like, this isn't the first time I've brought this to your attention. Why do you guys keep doing this every time I'm not here? It's like, it seems like I'm the only one who follows the process and procedures around here. And you guys just do whatever you want when I'm not here. Hey, Moxie! Just ranting about my stupid job. Because I was just like, hey guys, what's the purpose of having these processes and procedures that I maintain? But like every time I'm not here, you guys just throw it to the wind and it doesn't matter. And then my boss is like, no, we don't do that. I'm like, no, like it's literally the same fucking problem every time I'm not here for an extended period of time. You guys send out parts you shouldn't be sending out. You're not being diligent with the orders at all. And we keep having the same problems over and over again. And you just keep going, oh, it's fine. I'm like, no, it's not. You're not following procedure. And I was like, what's the point of having a procedure if I'm the only one who maintains it? Okay, let's see here. There we go. Let's see. Okay, we'll just have to improvise this one. Oh shoot, I shouldn't. You know what? It's fine. I'll just combine. I'll just merge it down later. It's fine. Thank you, Shrimpy. Just glad I'm getting paid this week. Makes losing so much money on the show a little bit more bearable. So I do have to say, deciding to like do a convention, like host a convention on Mother's Day weekend is a goddamn choice. Like, there's so much going on in Indianapolis this past weekend. It was ridiculous. Like, there was like a bunch of baseball games going on at the field next door to the convention center. Then there was like a country music concert, and then there was like a prom going on, and then there was also like I guess the Indy 500 was happening. So, like, there was a lot of stuff happening in the city. Okay. Do I need... this one? Okay, I didn't... It's fine. I can wing it. Right? It's just... I mean, a lot of people were like, oh, my helper isn't here. That usually helps me because, like, oh, they're hanging out with, like, they're doing stuff with their mom this weekend. I'm like, I did stuff with my mom last weekend. Like, the weekend before Mother's Day because... I was doing that show. Like, I have a possible convention in August on my mom's birthday weekend, and I'm like, hey, like, we might have to do your birthday the weekend before, because I'm possibly doing this show. I'm on the wait list, and the show, it has a reputation of, like, calling on you, like, 2 or 3 weeks before, and it's a local show. Like, I can drive back and forth every night. So, I'm hoping I get in. Because June's pretty well stacked right now. I got 2 back-to-back shows in June. one of them's local and another one I have to travel for, so. But it was just really frustrating today, like, trying to, like, talk about my frustrations to my one coworker. And when she was even like, oh, you have to, like, look at the other artists in Artist Alley as your competition. You can't be friendly with them. And I'm like, you don't know how this works. Like, yes and no, people in Artist Alley are competition, but they're also my peers. We're all hoping everyone does well. Like, no ill will on anybody. Like, we all want to do well. And she was even like, oh, like, what do the booths surrounding you look like? And I'm like, they were in pastel colors and stuff. Like, they were... She's like, oh, do you have pictures of your neighbors? I'm like, why would I take pictures of my neighbor's booth? I have to take pictures of my booth. So I can use it to submit to other shows. I try to keep, like, current photos of my booth for when I applied to other shows. So I'm like, I'm not gonna take pictures of my neighbor's booth. There's no point. Alright, let's see here. Alright, we're gonna blur these. Alright, let's get this. Well, the thing is like, it's also, like, Artist Alley is a networking opportunity as well. So, like, for a lot of artists, Artist Alley is, like, one of the few times we actually get to, like, socialize with other artists and, like, meet new people who do the same thing we do, because, like, being an artist is very isolating. Like, I've taken steps to get more social by, like, going to, like, a local art club once a month when my schedule allows, sort of thing. Like, I'm making a point to try to, like, not just be a hermit. And plus, like, you never know if, like, someone can, like, recommend you to, like, a professional job, or, like, if you're an asshole, you're not gonna make it very far, in my opinion. Or you shouldn't make it very far. Like, I have a slight reputation amongst my mutuals in the Artist Alley, where, like, I'm prepared for anything. So, like, if you need a little, like, the connectors for, like, your modular cubes because you forgot yours, or you don't have enough, I always have extra. Maybe not in your exact colors, all of mine are black right now. But, like, I'm like, I have extra, I'm willing to share, because I'm like, no, like, you're in a tight spot, I'll help you out. I'm able to help you out. Like, I forgot to bring scissors this time, and I had to ask one of my neighbors, hey, do you have a pair of scissors I can borrow so I can cut some of these QR codes out for my art cards? So... just fill the hole. Interesting. So, I mean, I'm not the most socially an adept person, but I'm also like, I know that being a dick doesn't get you very far. Ugh. I'm so tired. So. Like, I had like some really good neighbors this time, right? Like, I've always had pretty good neighbors. And like, there was this one guy in my section where we were table neighbors at a smaller show late last year, and I was like, oh, hey, dude, what's up? And he's like, oh, I remember you from somewhere. And I'm like, yeah, we were at that one, like, 2-day convention that was inside a recreation center, and the voice actor for Mewtwo was there. And he's like, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah, your family brought food. And I was kind of low-key jealous that I didn't get to eat any of it because it was Filipino food, and I haven't really had Filipino food before, but it smelled delicious. But I also am trying to take into account that, like, we are in, like, a recession. Like, people, like, gas prices by me are, like, $5 a gallon. Grocery prices are skyrocketing. Like, bills are increasing. So I'm like, not everyone has, like, a lot of money to spend right now. So... And I'm very much the kind of person that, like, you gotta make sure your bills are paid before you spend your money on art. You gotta make sure you got food on the table before you spend money on art. Because, like, the only time I really spend money on art is when I'm at conventions. In an artist alley. I don't buy art year round because I don't think my wallet could handle it. Like, I'll back my friends' Kickstarters if I'm able to, like, and, like, help them promote their projects and everything, but, like, if I'm not in a good financial situation, I'm not gonna, I'm like, I'd much rather make sure my bills are covered than spend money on art. Like, there's this one Kickstarter that I have bookmarked basically for when it launches, and I'm hoping I have the money to support it when it launches. It's another tabletop RPG book, like a new system. And I have a slight saying, it's similar to, like, collecting craft supplies is different than using craft supplies or something, or, like, buying books is a different hobby than reading books. I have the, kickstarting RPGs is a different hobby than playing RPGs. Because I have a almost encyclopedic knowledge about Dungeons and Dragons just because I've been playing it and watching it for so long. But I have, like, the Avatar: The Last Airbender RPG because I backed it on Kickstarter back in the day. I haven't played it yet. I've barely glanced at, like, the handbook. So... And then, like, I have a lot of, like, smaller RPGs, like, one-page or, like, pamphlet RPGs, or tabletop RPGs. One of them is called Axolotl with a Gun, done by my friend Breedenon, Breitbard Studios, because it's cute. Have I played it? No. Have I seen my buddies creating it on their Twitch streams? Yes. I did do some new art cards while I was tabling this past weekend, though. I did a bunch of axolotls. And then my friends who made axolotl with a gun were like, hey, you should make these into like mini prints because they're so cute. And I'm like, I plan on making those into acrylic pins and charms at some point. So, yeah, I'm definitely gonna stick with, like, I think the 5 I did this weekend to start. Because I did lemon, lime, orange, mango, and strawberry. I think we'll start with just those 5. Because the company I use to create my acrylic charms and pins and stuff, they can do up to 5 different designs per order. So I'm just like, yeah, we can just start with 5 different designs. I'll probably work on those, start working on those on Monday. After I finish the fairy. Because the fairy's almost done. Actually, I need to start thinking about the pride stuff. God dang it. Yeah, I need to do the rainbow flag, and I think I want to try to tackle the non-binary flag this year for my Poke Pride prints. The Pokeball. Yeah, that's cute. Well, I had someone, I think recently at one of the shows I did, they were going through my Pokemon Pride prints. And they were like, you don't have a rainbow flag. And I'm like, no, I don't. So I'm like, that's probably not the worst idea to add that to the lineup. Because, like, at the very least, the Pokemon Pride prints do bring people to my booth because I put the lesbian flag one out in front and center. I got a lot of compliments on the Senshi soup print. I actually sold 4 of them. A lot of people thought it was very funny, and I think one guy said he bought it to put in his pantry. I'm very much like, listen, I don't care what you do with it after you give me the $15, because it's yours. You can do whatever you want with it, as long as I get paid. Like, there was a library show I did last year where, like, a guy bought the Lesbian Pride Poke print because he liked the colors, not knowing the connotation of the print. And I'm just like, listen, $15 is $15. I ain't gonna say anything. If you don't know, that's just gonna be funny, a funny interaction possibly for him later. Exactly. Is that? Delete that. Like, I've given art to, like, voice actors in the past at conventions. I think... Oh god, I forget what year it was. It had to be like 2015, 2016, 2017 or something. Will Wheaton came to C2E2 and I had just gotten into Critical Role and he had like done a short stint of episodes in like campaign 1 of Critical Role, so I drew like his character and his character's daughter. And I gave him that art, and he, like, I think he interpreted it as something else, and I was just like, yeah, sure, that's totally what it is. If that's what you think it is, that's what it is. I'm not gonna correct you. Roby Borkin. You do be Borkin. I'm thinking on Friday that we will do Date Everything again, because I just want a chill time on Friday. I did see a couple. I think I saw Betsy cosplayer at the convention from Date Everything, and the Dust Bunny girl I also saw. They were a duo, and they were really cute. And they were like, "Oh, hey, you can find the Dust Bunny girl in this location." I'm like, okay, thanks. Because like the Betty cosplayer was like, don't do that. They might not want to know. And I'm like, it's too late. They already said it. It's fine. I'm like, I'm slowly making my way. Like, I think right now we're just like trying to unlock as many people as we can before we have to advance in the game. It's fine. It happens. It's not the end of the world. I mean, when I used to work at the movie theater, I got really chill about spoilers. Like, personally. Like, whenever I go to a movie, I don't discuss the movie until I'm out of the building and, like, in my car, just so, like, I don't accidentally spoil anyone on my way out or on my way to the car. But I'm also the kind of person of, like, if I want to avoid spoilers, then I will make an effort to, like, go see or do or play the thing. Yeah, I was doing my best dodging spoilers the best I can with ZA. I was like, I'll get it when I get it to it when I get to it, but like after a while, I'm like, I guess it's just gonna be, some bits are just gonna be spoilered for me. I know the internet's gonna internet, but I really think the internet needs to be more chill about posting like new releases like immediately after. Especially like when it comes to video games, I'm like, maybe you should wait like at least a month or two before you start posting spoilers online. Because like not everyone can get the game right away. And especially with the case of the Switch 2, not everyone can afford a Switch 2 right now. So like... Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of, oh god, it's so crazy. So like, I've been doing like shows and like hanging out with people, and a lot of them are for, I don't get it. I don't pay attention to like video game drama or whatever, but like a lot of people for some reason are like really pissed at like Pokopia, and like a lot of the newer games coming out are exclusive to the Switch too. And I'm just like, and everyone's like, this is such bullshit. And I'm like, it's the new console. Of course they're gonna put the new games on the new console. And everyone's like, well, I'm not buying the Switch 2 on principle. I'm like, what sort of soapbox are you standing on? Because I don't have any context as to this. Like, are you just mad that, like, Nintendo's doing Nintendo? Like, I swear, gamers just get pissed at everything. Like, I'll get my Switch 2 as soon as I'm done paying off my dental debt. Not as soon as I'm done paying it off, but pretty close after I'm done paying it off. Okay. Okay, now I gotta do all the plants. Gotta do the vines. Do it for the vine. Exactly. Like, if you're gonna come out with a new console, you need to have games for the new console. Granted, like, Nintendo doesn't have the best track record of, like, having a good like set of like launch games for their new consoles. They've always struggled on and off with that, because I think it was the 3DS or something where like they really didn't have any games for it right away, and then like people were so mad about that like they gave like a slight refund or rebate to a lot of people. But like, part of me is like, I don't need good launch titles when a new console comes out, because I don't care. I've never been an early adopter of anything. So I'm like, I'm okay to wait until there's like games I actually want to play before buying a console. Pretty much, it's like, oh, when's the next, like, main Pokemon game coming out? That's my threshold. It's like, is there a new mainline Pokemon game coming out on this console? Yes? Okay, then I'll start saving up for the console and the game. Like, I didn't even know Baldur's Gate 3 was happening until it came out and my dad bought me a copy. So, like, I don't really follow video games. I play them, but I'm not, like, keeping my ear to the ground for new releases, you know? Like, I remember when the Switch came out, I didn't get one until, like, 2020 when the pandemic hit. And that was, like... And, like, one of my cousins was surprised I waited so long. And I was just like, well, I have, like, bills and shit, dude. Like, I can't just, like, go out and, like, buy the newest console as it releases, because like I have got other stuff I need to like worry about, and like video games are not a top priority for me. They're like, oh, if I have the money, sure. Listen, Pokemon fans are gonna be upset about something regardless. So, like, I swear, no one hates a franchise more than its own fans. It's the same thing I feel, the same way I feel about Star Wars and stuff. Because, was it last week or like the week before, I decided to wear my Jar Jar Binks t-shirt to work because I have a Jar Jar Binks t-shirt. I think it's hilarious. I love Jar Jar Binks, unironically. So I wore it to work, and my new coworker noticed, and he's like, "What's your opinion on Jar Jar Binks?" And I'm like, "Oh, I unironically love the guy. Like, he's funny, and like, he served as like, you know, the comedic relief of the first." The movie in the prequel trilogy. Like, I like Jar Jar Binks. Like, unironically, I always have. He was my favorite character. And he's like, what do you... And he was also like, oh, what do you think of, like... What's your opinion on, like, the Star Trek versus Star Wars? And I'm like, you cannot compare a space opera movie series, a movie franchise, to a sci-fi, like, philosophical, social commentary TV series. You cannot compare the two. They're vastly different, like, mediums. And, like, I prefer my Star Trek to be, like, cerebral, and we're, like, debating, like, is Data a machine? Does he have autonomy? Does he have rights? I like that shit. I like exploring alien cultures. Like, come on. Like, if you don't watch Star Trek for that, then, like, what are you watching Star Trek for? I may be in a little bit of a Star Trek kick right now because my roommate and I have been making our way through Next Gen, which is like the show that was on TV when I was little. I think it ended when I was fairly young, but I remember watching a lot of reruns on occasion as a kid. So, like, we're just slowly making our way through that. Yeah, my favorite, like, Star Trek, characters are, like, Geordi LaForge and, Data. Like, those are my boys. I love those two so much. And not necessarily in, like, a shipping way, but, like, I'm down for that ship. I just think they're a neat duo. I just think they're neat. Hopping all around this page today. it'll all get done eventually. I can't believe tomorrow's Thursday already. Oh, back when I used to work on my Nuzlocke comic back in the day, I used to stream fairly frequently back then too, and I once had, I think someone came into my chat once, and they were like, why do you skip from panel to panel? Because like I would do like a little bit of work on one panel, and then I'd do like a complete panel, and then I'd move on to another panel, and someone's like, why do you do that? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. The page gets done when it gets done. So like, doing the first panel first isn't going to make a difference. The page gets done eventually. As long as you do like everything in the right steps. Like, you know, you do the inking, and then you do the coloring, or whatever your process is. I'm like, that's all that matters, is that the process is consistent. Okay. Okay, now we just need to find... There it is. Okay. You're gonna duplicate that. Bring this to opacity. Do that real quick. Boom. Boom. Ooh, fun! I think I have a Baldur's Gate 3 session with my family this weekend. Dang it! I forgot. Hold up. I forgot a set of vines. There we go. Yeah, we've got, there's, oh, this is a foreground one. Okay, hold up. This is gonna be, okay, it's fine. Yeah, the Baldur's Gate group for my family, there's 4 of us, so no romancing for this run. Though I did save Astarion from getting murdered by my dad. There we go. What am I doing? This would be so much faster if I just did that. There we go. Okay. Delete. Erase that. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's alright, Chubster. It's all good. Welcome, welcome. So I think we'll do... Okay, let me think here. Doo-doo. Oh, wrong button. Whoa. There we go. Ugh. Okay. I think. Thank you. I like doing magic and glowy effects. Oh, wrong layer. I see. It's getting there. It's almost done. I think I just have some shading and lighting effects to finish up. And I'm gonna do the dialogue. bad. We got through most of it. I think I should be able to finish this up throughout the rest of the week, hopefully. Alright. Let's see who we're gonna raid tonight. Let's see. We're gonna raid into Emiru. Looks like they're doing Phasmophobia. Alright, I will be back on Friday with most likely Date Everything. Nice chill night of talking to inanimate objects. So, until then, have a lovely day, have a lovely night, and I'll see y'all again soon.